Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Perry?
I'm good. Big congratulations on the movie. I'm going to start with my most pressing question first.
Okay.
Are you as friendly as Melanie is on planes?
Yes, I am.
I'm incredibly impressed. Now, just because I'm curious, what is the most memorable random interaction you've ever had on a plane?
I talked to this older gentleman, he was like a dad, right? On a plane ride from New York to Los Angeles about life, and his daughter's going to college and education and health, and for 6 hours. We landed in LA and I was like, dude, we talked the whole trip. And he was like, thank you. And it was like this experience. It was awesome. And then usually I sleep. But if I don't sleep, we're talking. And we're talking the whole time if you're down.
I can't tell if that's super heartwarming or also gives me 6-hour plane flight anxiety.
I think you probably should like, don't get into a conversation with me on a flight. You may want to shut it down. But I give people outs.
That's important. I feel like the one time that I can't say no to it is if the person seated next to me has a pet. Then they're screwed.
Oh, you love pets.
Oh, I love pets.
Then you can sit next to me all the time because I have my dogs usually always.
Okay. I'm glad we found a middle ground here. That is my in to conversation on flight.
I get rid of your anxiety, right? Because we're going to talk about dogs and they're so friendly and they're hyperallergenic. So you won't
even better.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you about working with Evan and specifically what she brings to your performance as a scene partner. What does she bring out of you that maybe you haven't experienced before with a co-star?
So that's a great question because I'm always talking about like how much I love her, and the real importance is what she does to, like, I've been trying to vocalize how she allows me to be the best version of myself, but it's been hard to do that. So that question is perfect. She makes me feel confident, comfortable, powerful. She creates this brave space where you just feel like you could do anything and that she's not going to find you silly or goofy. There's no judgment. It's like fly. And she's just flying next to you. And she really does empower you to be the best version of yourself, which is a testament to how confident she is and understand as an artist. That she wants everybody to be great around her. And I admire that so much because that is how you make a good project. You want everybody to rise. And she is just such a let's all rise. And she's good to everybody and she's kind and she's prepared. And so she's not holding anybody up. She's not being nasty to anybody. She's good to everyone. So she's ideal.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. I feel like that radiates off screen when you have something like that. And I can feel it in particular here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So how about working with Miranda? Because I have heard a lot about her very collaborative nature, but also the fact that she comes to set with a vision and then that vision can change. So yeah. Do you remember a day where maybe it was scary how much that changed and how she kind of helped you through it?
I had a lot of trust in Miranda from the moment we met. Trust is built, but I had this belief in her because of the work that I had already seen of her. I trusted her as an artist that I can give over and she was going to make something awesome. I believed that I was lucky enough to be a puzzle piece in this beautiful puzzle she was about to create. And she changed, but so does everyone. And so does every director. And, I don't think I ever was afraid, to be honest. On the contrary, I was I always find, and as somebody who directs myself, is that if they want one more, then give it to them because they didn't get what they wanted. And that's okay. You've given them a bunch of other cool things. So I always find it liberating when somebody's I know what I want and it's okay that I haven't found it yet. And it's okay for us to search for it,
Absolutely.
To go on that journey.
Is there anything you observed Miranda doing that you're going to bring to your own sets as a director? Maybe just have a notebook on hand or something
I
like that?
her notebook. I talk about her notebook all the time because then I just want to get my hands on that notebook. I was like, what's in that notebook? You know, her temperament, it's very calm and it's very loving. And I think that's imperative on set. And I was very inspired and it was very aspirational so that I may take that into that you can always just stop and be like, give me a second to figure out what I want. You know, just like, give me a second. And so that quiet command is beautiful.
Quiet command. I just like that descriptor, and I feel like I want to apply it to everything I do.
Right? That's just
A little bit.
Yeah, just.
I also love hearing about what a director does behind the monitor to signal to their actor that they like the take they're getting. So how do you know that you are absolutely nailing something based on what Miranda is doing behind the lens?
She forgets to yell cut. You just want to keep watching. And she does. And so like the scene would be done and you still want to stay in there and you're just like, she's living in this moment. And that's when you know you've done a good job because she will just keep watching.
Oh, I love hearing that so much. I don't want to move on from this, but I really did want to ask you about Carmen Sandiego because bringing back properties is exciting, gives us the opportunity to recapture what people loved before, but also adapt them for modern audiences. And you've kind of already done that with that property. So what would you say, I guess, are your unique goals for the live action feature instead?
Dwayne, who did the animation, is brilliant. Is just because we finished, but is brilliant, is a brilliant man and did such a phenomenal job at creating this world because we know Carmen. I mean, I grew up with Carmen Sandiego and it was mostly like the PBS game and it was mostly like the computer game, but you didn't really know anything about her. So Dwayne created this entire and incredibly intertwined, beautiful story with backstory and all that. And so with the live action to try, ideally we would be able to create multiple films, but to bring in this first film, it is really imperative to us to create this iconic character that we loved, right? That we didn't know much about and give her a really solid story that we all fall in love with. So that's the unique challenge that we are working on, but I'm really excited and hopeful because it's coming together great.
I've got high hopes. I look forward to it. But first, huge congratulations on this. Seriously, I adore this movie.
Thank you, Perry. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. And thank you for supporting it.